Now let's build our eye stalks the same way that we did the arms. So we need to figure out where first they're going to come from. So let's go to edit mode. And I think I want them to come from kind of right up here. So let's select our faces, come right up here. And remember, we want to do the same thing, hit I to do a little bit of an inset. Okay, and you can see that this is kind of, it's kind of rectangular. And so if you want to, you can come in and try to sort of square that up a little bit. And you may have to do a little bit of cleanup, but when it smooths, it'll be not so easy to tell. And then we can hit E to extrude and sort of pull this out. And I want this to be a little bit more kind of rounded off. And so let's come in. I'm just going to draw this up kind of like that. And you can hit G if you want to just kind of move this around. G, grab there, and then we can kind of rotate this around. We can also use scale. And if I want this to really kind of be more of a square shape, which will help me just because I want to smooth it and I want it to be sort of round. So when we smooth this square shape, it should be pretty rounded. So we can have a little bit more control over it here. Now I do want it to have this sort of shape, rounded shape. And so let's hit Control R. I'll add a couple of lines in here and let's go ahead and place those. And then I'm actually going to just move those up a little bit. So we get, something like that. Now let's take this face and I'm just going to rotate it a little bit more forward. E to extrude again. Something like that. Let's start to kind of enlarge this a little. So we can select the points. And I'll select that one on the other side as well. Let's kind of scale this up a bit. And now let's take the faces on the outside. There are several ways we can do this. I'm just going to take these ones out here. Okay, and remember on this case, we want to extrude everything out. And so we want to do a region vertex normals. I'll kind of pull it out like that. So we get something like that. And then we can, if we want to kind of taper it out a little bit more, we can grab these points on the back side. S to scale, kind of pull that out a little bit. And then we can kind of pull this back. We can do the same thing here. Let's actually just grab this face in the middle. S, kind of scale this up a little. And then if we want it to be a little bit more forward facing, you could grab these points, but I think that's okay. Now let's grab these forward facing polygons. E to extrude. We'll kind of pull that out. Now, if we hit the eye icon on our subsurf and we'll make sure we're in object mode, you get something that looks kind of like that. Okay, so if you want to kind of round it off a little bit and make it a little bit more forward facing, all you have to do is go in and grab those points. So we can come in here and say, I'm just going to grab these edges, kind of all the way around, kind of move it back a little bit. Oops, and hit S and we'll kind of scale this up to round it off. We can also come in here and kind of move that back a little bit more and also, add another edge kind of right in there. Let's kind of scale this outer edge out a little bit. Okay, you can get something like that. If you want to thin it out a little bit, you can. So the next thing we want to do is take a look at making the actual eyeballs that are going to sit inside there, and how can we create the mirror image of those eyeballs. So we'll come in the next lesson and do that.